And welcome to this exciting day where we talk about businesses all around the world. It's Business 360 in features, looking at the commodity market, nuclear energy. The caught its deliveries of uranium for 3 years. There are enough deposits on the world market. Uranium, a key ingredient for the nuclear industry. To protect businesses from global shocks, commercial banks are required to hold at least $150 billion of $6.3 million. Investors express concerns over in Nigeria this landscape of micro, small, and medium enterprises (MSMEs) nationwide. Signings highlights the monumental impact of balance equality. Still in Nigeria, across key indicators with a 148% growth in profit before tax of 38 highlights of the diversified group's unaudited 6 months result released on the 9.5%. Consumer finance 10%. FCMB group's gross revenue grew by 88.2 billion naira for the same period in the previous year in non-interest income. Light Industries PLC and Dangote Rice Limited statement that a company will seek shareholders' approval and that sugar, the merger between the three groups to enhance future opportunities in the food industry. What opportunity for a major central banks in the world? The big question is, why are central banks
both the Federal Reserve and the European data dependency means one considers forecasts which one has little to no confidence. The way forward will depend on how key metrics of reasoning makes good sense, yet there are some considerations to note. Data is released with a time.
When we talk about global economy and economic data according to Finch rating. Don't go anywhere. We'll be talking about Fitch rating, default rating to AA plus from AAA and the erosion of governance, but confidence in fiscal management in the US. And it's quite concerning because the seasonally upticks in the prior month. The latest reading point, according to reports, the business activity sub-index saw receiving inputs amid the transport disruption on the N3 corridor through the month of June in July. Well, amid these concerns from statistics in South Africa, it is in the private sector, but began which is the Purchasers Managers Index dropped to 51.7 in July 20th sector. That was the weakest since March. Expansion after the cash crisis at the beginning of the year, as inflationary pressures driven by higher fuel costs following the subsidy removal, currency weakness, and rising wages, employment increase for the third consecutive month. Let's look at, according to the chart, over 2022, just slightly above 52, and began to drop, and currently, July 2023, below 52 on the slow in a long while. It will market first. Amid a continued US dollar, let's hear from Bob.
40 cents. 1978.30, which was down 1.54%, and today's drop erased both days of gains. That correction, of course, did not. Headwind, and gold will be working within this. Gold does tend to weaken on a season.
That's the expected and the perspective of details in the energy and industrial market as well as agricultural market. Gone up by 4.6 points, 1,948.24 US dollars per ounce is the price of silver, is the price of steel. Quickly, let's look at further markets, talking about the energy market and the West Texas Intermediary crude gaining 0. Market, the price of bitumen, cobalt 0.72% decline, leads a little here, a little there, aluminium dropping 25 tin dropping a massive 918 points, a negative 3.19% cultural market this morning. 3.5% appreciation, 6% appreciation, 3,009. Sentiments globally, locally. Concerns persist about health. Its interest rate steady at 8.25% on June within the South Africa's Reserve Bank's target band of 3 to 6% for can run first. Afterwards, we'll look at the euro against the US dollar and the Naira's perspective. 18.39 rand. Let's look at the euro against the US dollar. The standing, while anticipating all this, we've seen dollar is at 1.09 points, dropping 0.009, no significant 1.281 mark, but the volatility in dollar for the euro against the Naira as the close of yesterday's DTH appreciation for the pound against the Naira arrow markets also. They anticipated $1 at the buying rate at the closure of yesterday's market, pound at the buying rate, and selling rate 1,000 equaling €1. Up to the coin, 210. Ripples a little here, a little this morning. Duration over the next 3 years. Major bosses futures also pointed at, well, the decline stock market and the European stock market next economy, or subsequently let's look at what happened in these. In the face beacon of hope for everything impressive returns. Malawi, Uganda, and Tanzania. And quickly, let's look at the African stock market and afterwards the Nigerian stock market. The fish rating of the US point and the Egyptian stock drop is struggling at the open of 100 point struggles this morning. Thank you for watching. This is Business 360.